Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video, and today I'm actually working on a full 6x8 page, and it's part of my autumn kit series, so that's why you see all of this here. I am using a flip book album, so I have that at the ready, and then I've already picked out this stuff for my opening page, or my title page if you will. And I have a photo here of where the three of us met. We kind of live in different areas around the city, so it was easier for us just to meet at a park and ride and then drive from there. So I have our little map here as to where we met, and then we jumped on the freeway right here. And then I can talk about meeting up, what our drive was like, you know, a little bit different when COVID's happening. We were allowed to still be near each other then, but with masks. So I want to talk about that. And then I have this lovely piece of background paper that I've already pulled out to use. I do need to trim off this, obviously. And then I have to figure out what's going to go in the background so that it becomes 6x8. That part I haven't figured out yet. I pulled out the papers from my stash, and this is the only 12x12 piece of paper I have in the kit. Normally when I get a 12x12, I immediately cut it down to 6x12, but I bought this recently, and so I didn't cut it yet. So I have that, and then these are the others that I had pulled from my stash that were in the kit. And I was looking at these, and I don't know that I'm really in love with any of them. I liked the idea of using the yellow because it's a somewhat subtle pattern with another subtle pattern. But when I do this, I think that's way too much yellow. I don't like the look of it. And because I've got this bright white card here, I'm considering just using a white background, which I didn't think I would, but I'm going to cut a piece of white cardstock and just see what I think. If I don't like it, it's fine. I can try to find something else, but I'm willing to at least try it. All right, so I have cut down a piece of scrap cardstock. I like doing that when I goof up something because then I don't have to cut into a brand new piece of cardstock for a background that you're hardly going to see. Plus, it just helps to recycle stuff. I don't go through paper quite as fast. So I have that, and then when I put this up to it, I do kind of like the way that looks. I think I am going to go with it. So that means that I also need to cut down this to get rid of the top portion and make it truly just 6x6. So I'll line that up. There we go. And now this piece is ready too. So I have that background ready to go. For these, I think I want to stagger them. I don't really need this part here that just happened to be part of the screenshot. So I think I want to cover that up and kind of do something like this. And then there's kind of some dead space here. This would allow me to do an embellishment there. So I'm thinking this is the best course of action. And then once I pick an embellishment, I can do actually a whole cluster here. I can still stamp or use washi, top or bottom. I have lots of space to work with, which I like because I can do more with it. It's a little bit more versatile. And since I went with a white background, it kind of will work for anything. Okay, I have all of that attached. Now I can do the really fun part of embellishing, taking out all of my fun stuff, figuring out what I want to use. I'll probably use some phrases. Maybe this page I could actually get away with doing some fall themed things or doing some generic travel things. Maybe I'll pull these out too. We'll see how it goes. When I was looking at all of these items, I love the green in here, which isn't a perfect match to this paper, but it's really close to the photo, so I may use those somehow. But I kind of decided I also like the red. And I think it's because there is just a little bit of red right there in the highway sign. The print is kind of pink, but I think if I could pull that out, I could use the washi, obviously, or the fake washi sticker, and then I can find some other stuff. I know I have travel stuff that has to have red in it. I'm sure I can come up with some other stuff. So I think I'm going to try that and just see what I think of it once I see them together. I do like the color scheme there, I think. So I think I'm going to keep that. And then I noticed I have two hearts on here. I have this one, which also has a polka dot pattern. Now that's a lot of polka dots happening if I do that, so I'm not sure that's what I want. But I do have this one as well that is just plain. And I'm thinking I could maybe tuck it behind here somehow to bring in some of that extra red. I'm going to try that too and just see how I feel about it. I added the heart up here, kind of hanging off the left-hand side of this photo, and I do like it. And it gives me the opportunity to have a visual triangle. So I have these two. I may be able to use one of these enamel dots over here, just hanging off the edge of the card to bring that in. I do think I also want to stamp, since I've got this black print on there and a little bit here. I could stamp down here with something. I'm not exactly sure what. I don't have a ton of seasonal stamps that would have sayings to fit this, but I do have travel stuff. I do have phrases that talk about friends getting together, which is what we were doing to enjoy our fall day. So I think I'm going to just pull out the stamps and see what I find. I did find this stamp set, which is all about friends, and I like the one that says we've been through a lot. That works with what I wanted to say in my journaling. I wanted to say, oh yeah, since we've been, restricted due to COVID, this was one thing we could do because it was outdoors. Our state considered that safer and it was okay to do. I want to say something like that. And so I think I might just put it right down here. I thought about doing it right under the washi, but I think that looks too stacked. So I think I'm going to move it over here instead. My stamping is complete. There it is. It came out great. I do want to say I was pretty positive that this stamp was brand new, that I had never used that particular one from that set, so I did prime it. And what I do when I prime stamps is I just take a pencil eraser and I just rub over the surface of the stamp, and that just helps to take off some of the oil and stuff that's on it from when it's manufactured, and it holds ink better that way. I also did a test run just to make sure it was really ready, and then I stamped the real thing. Now looking at this, it feels sort of plain to me. It definitely needs something else. I think I'm going to do a little doodly border thing here along the top and then along the bottom edge. So I may just do it right up to the sticker, or if I can lift it gently and get underneath there just so it looks continuous, then I will do that. I have some pens here. I think I'm going to go with one that's kind of middle of the road, not super fine, not super thick. This is a Micron O2 pen. So if you use Micron, this is the one I'm using today. So I thought I was going to do just that enamel dot for the third element here, but now I'm kind of changing my mind, I think. I'm looking at these stickers, and really I don't know what else I would do with that. This is a pretty big sticker element. It's probably made more for a 12 by 12 page, which I don't really do anymore. So I'm wondering if I can cut that into pieces somehow and maybe tuck it up here. Maybe trail it down to the side. I'm not exactly sure, but there's got to be a way that I can use that creatively. All right, this is what I came up with. I decided to cut the sticker into 3 sections actually. So this is one. This little piece sticking out right here is actually the other part of this that I cut off. So I was able to use both pieces and make it look like 2 things, which is kind of cool. So this is what's left of the sticker. This is part 2. Which I could use, again, obviously in something else. And then this is part 3, which I really like because then I can maybe use it almost like a vine somehow later in the album. So I'm going to hang on to those. Hopefully I'll be able to make use of them. But for now, this is what I have here. And I'm just trying to decide, do I want to do a little bit of splattering on it or leave it be before I do the journaling? So I was thinking that I was going to do splattering with like a Heidi Shine or the Nuvo Mica Mist, that kind of stuff. But I'm worried it'll be too bold. I want this to be very subtle, and all of these colors are kind of muted. And so I want the stamping to also be muted, or the background stuff to be muted. So I've decided to stamp. I think I'm going to use this one because it imitates the splatter motif on there, but then I can have more control over what it's going to look like. I'm guessing that I will probably stamp on a scratch piece and then on here just to make it look even more subtle, but I'm going to practice a little bit before I do it for real. I selected my ink and I've decided to go with a color. It's called So Saffron from Stampin' Up. And you can see here how I did my test. So this is stamping once, this is stamping twice. So this is much more subtle. It doesn't, show as kind of in your face, which is what I want. I do want to bring in that yellow, but I want it very, very subtle. So I think I'm going to do the stamping away technique a little bit down here as well as at the top. All right, so here it is with the stamping. It's barely noticeable, which is perfect. I have top and bottom. I thought I was going to stop there, but then I actually decided to do a little bit right here on the right hand side of the card as well, and I really like that. So I will do my journaling off camera, but otherwise I think this one is done. It's simple and easy, but I like it. So here's another one done for my autumn day trip album. Thanks for watching.